Okay, welcome our dear learners to our online teaching. It is very unfortunate that we got this pandemic called COVID-19 that has sabotaged our school programs. However, life is very precious. So we have been having sleepless nights thinking of how we can continue. We know you're missing us, we are missing you too. However, it is very important to put life first. Therefore, let me think at home there, you're following the Minister of Health guidelines strictly. For instance, washing your hands regularly, sanitizing, and avoiding to touch your tissues, all the soft parts of your body, that is to say, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I know it has been a while, and many of you have even forgotten my name. Moses Kaganze, teacher social studies. For those ones who have forgotten me and those ones who are seeing me for the first time. So welcome once again. I expect you to be in a place that doesn't inconvenience you. You can switch off all the gadgets that can inconvenience you so that we can move on smoothly. So I believe you are now settled. I expect you to pay maximum attention as we proceed in this lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to look at the climate of Uganda. And I felt it so wise that since in P4, they taught you about weather. And when we talk about climate, these are related topics. So in today's lesson, we are going to first remind ourselves about weather. So in our first session, take 1 minute. What do you still remember about weather? Just there where you're seated, you can share with your friends there. What do you think? What do you remember about weather? 1 minute just. I think we are done. What is weather? So you find out that weather is the state of the atmosphere at a given time and place. Can you repeat after me? Weather is the state of the atmosphere at a given time and place. I believe this is what you learned in P4. So I think we still remember that. And therefore, in our next session, I want us to look at what do you think? What are some of the terms that are related to weather? You learned very many terms from there that are associated to weather. Can you take like 2 minutes and think about what are those terms that are related to weather? I know teachers did a very good job in P4. And so what have you come up with? Yes, I can see somebody smiling and raising up the hand there. So we can proceed. 1, you find out that they taught you about a weather station. And another name to mean weather station, we can also call it a meteorological center. Can we spell the word meteorological? Let's move together. meteorological. So we pronounce it as meteorological. So another word to mean a weather station, we can call it a meteorological center. So you can see this is a place where weather elements are studied and recorded. That place where weather elements are studied and recorded, we refer to it as a weather station or a meteorological center. So you also learned that the main meteorological center in Uganda is found at Entebbe town in Wakiso district. Therefore, somebody can tease you and say, name the town where we find the largest meteorological center in Uganda. So the largest meteorological center is found in Entebbe town, and we find that Entebbe town in Wakiso district. So don't get confused. When they talk about a district, no, that is Wakiso. When they talk about a town, no, that is Entebbe town. So we also had to look at other terms like meteorology. Can everyone repeat after me? Meteorology. Just like you've been spelling the word meteorological. So this one is derived from the word meteorology. So meteorology, I believe they told you this is the study about weather. When you choose to take a study to know more about weather, So we call that meteorology. So can you repeat after me? What's meteorology? Meteorology is the study about weather. We can spell it very quickly. Meteorology. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Meteorology, capital M-E-T-E-O-R-O-L-O-G-Y. Meteorology. So as we proceed, we also have some other terms. We also, besides them, we have meteorologists. I believe in P4 you looked at this as well. So meteorologists, these are people who study about weather. Remember, we had meteorology and we say that's the study about weather. So people who take keen interest in studying about the weather conditions, we refer to them as meteorologists, just like you can see in the pictures there. Those people can be referred to as meteorologists, okay? So we can proceed. I believe you also learned about other terms. For instance, as you can see, you learned about weather forecasting. Can everyone say weather forecasting? So I believe they told you weather forecasting, this is the foretelling of future weather changes. Or we can as well define it as the prediction of future weather changes. To predict is to foretell, to tell something that will come in the future. For instance, right now, if you can tell something that will happen next week and it comes to pass, that's what we mean by prediction. So the prediction of future weather changes is what we call weather forecasting. And therefore, if I can quickly ask you, what do you think, how is the information about weather forecasting important to the following people? 1, a farmer. If, for instance, a farmer was listening over the radio and they were tipping him or her about the future weather changes, how is that important to a farmer? So you find out that information about weather forecasting helps a farmer to plan for his farm activities, or it helps a farmer to know when to plant and harvest his crops. The next person or the next group of people are the pilots. Why is it important for a pilot to know about the information about weather forecasting? So you find out that when a pilot gets to know the future weather changes, it helps him to know when to fly an aeroplane. Let's say you may find the condition is cloudy. Therefore, you cannot choose to fly an aeroplane because it can lead to crashing. The plane can crash. So it's very important for a pilot to know this information about weather forecasting so that he can know when to fly the aeroplane. Then the second group, this time around, I'm going to talk about you, the students, you who is seated there, okay? How is the information about weather forecasting important to you? Let's say you were listening over the radio and I said, the following morning is going to rain heavily. Tell me, which kind of clothes can you wear? I believe you will choose your heaviest jacket in preparation for the weather in the morning. Therefore, information about weather forecasting, you realize it helps you as a student to know what to wear on a particular day. Then, to the sailors, the same way. It helps them to know when to sail their boats. So, besides those ones we have looked at, I also believe they took you through weather instruments. So what are weather instruments? When somebody talks about weather instruments, what comes into your brain? So without wasting time, weather instruments, these are tools. These are tools used to measure and record weather elements. These are tools that are used to measure weather elements. So you can see we have some examples here, and I believe you learned this. For instance, who can tell me which weather instrument is this one? So you find this is a rain gauge. This is a rain gauge. We have the wind vane here. We have the windsock. Besides these ones, we also have the hygrometer. We have the barometer. We have the 6's thermometer, and then the Campbell sunshine recorder. So I believe they took you through all these, okay? So we can proceed. So in our session 3, okay? And here I want us to look at the elements and conditions of weather, okay? So can you take again more 2 minutes to think about what are some of the elements and conditions of weather. Take just 2 minutes. You can share with a friend. Then we can share together as a group, okay? You can wear even a smile when you're talking to that friend of yours. So I believe the 2 minutes are enough. Now we can proceed to see, okay? So when you check, you realize we have elements and conditions. I want you to note that clearly. So according to this, we have an element that is rainfall. And now which condition is generated by rainfall? So you find out that rainfall leads to a rainy condition. And spelling normally disturbs people when it comes to spelling of the word rainy. So can we move together? Can you spell the word rainy? Rainy, R-A-I-N-Y. Then we can also see another element that is wind. Everybody say wind. Yes. So which condition is generated by wind as an element? So according to this, you realize that wind leads to a windy weather or a windy condition. Okay? We can see other elements and the conditions. We have the cloud cover. So this cloudy cover as an element, it leads to a cloudy weather. You can see what is taking place in the picture there. Okay? I hope we are moving together. We have another element that is sunshine. And sunshine leads to a sunny condition. So we can as well try to spell the word sunny. Can we move together again? Sunny, S-U-N-N-Y. That's the word sunny. So you need to take a note that in the word rainy, we had a single N. That's where the confusion normally comes from. When it comes to sunny, it is double N. Let's proceed and look at other elements and conditions. Who can read for us this word? This is temperature. Everyone will say temperature. And temperature is another element of weather that we learned about in P4. So, which conditions are generated or are brought about by temperature? So, temperature has a variety of conditions that it can bring, just like we can see. It can turn into a warm condition or a hot condition. On the other hand, it can as well turn into a cold or cold condition. So, who can quickly tell us which instrument is used to measure the temperature of an area? I believe you learned about a 6-is thermometer, okay? I think that's right. Let us keep following. I think we can proceed. We also have other elements and conditions here. For instance, we have humidity. And this one leads to a humid condition. We have fog. This one leads to a foggy condition. We have mist. Mist leads to a misty condition. Then we have air pressure. This air pressure is related to wind, because when we talk about air pressure or atmospheric pressure, we refer to the weight of wind. So the condition that can be brought about by air pressure can as well be that can be brought by wind. Are we together? Yes. I think silence means consent. We can proceed, okay? So, before I give you some activity, is there something that you have not understood so well that we can maybe emphasize, okay? Yes, is there something that you didn't understand very well? Yes, I can see everyone is just nodding the head, a sign to show that we are all together. So, as I wind up my lesson today, I want to leave with you some activity, and I want us to move together and go through this activity. So number one is directly about who is a meteorologist. Who is a meteorologist? Number two, how is information about weather forecasting important to the following people? 1, farmers. B, pilots. C, students. The next question, that's question 3. Which condition of weather causes drought? Which condition of weather causes drought? And then part B, Which condition of weather causes floods? The fourth question, mention one instrument, mention one weather instrument. Then lastly, give the meaning of the term humidity. I expect good handwriting, mind about handwriting, neat work, so that when I get to mark, I also wear a smile as I'm enjoying just to take very, very neat work. So I thank you once again for being a wonderful audience, and see me next time. I want to encourage you to keep washing your hands because we need to avoid this pandemic of COVID-19. Please wash your hands. Always remember to sanitize where possible. And then keep home, keep safe. Thank you for listening.